Guys, I just came out front. I just got off a live stream and I have my table set out to do some cutting of some fabric. I'm about to do that. I'll make a video of it and then I'll bring my stuff on inside. But yeah, this is just a working afternoon, like a working afternoon video. I have to keep taking sips of water because the sun is out. It was not out earlier, but it's out now. So yeah, well, I had everything out here for the live stream, so I'll just continue and do my get my fabric cuttings done. Let me put my crochet hook away. This thing will keep rolling. Rolling and falling. So I always keep this handy pencil case with my crochet hooks, my thread, my needle and needle cushion, and scissors, all like my tools for my stitching, and then small crochet projects like this one I shared on the live stream. It's the beginnings of a mini bowl in Jamaican flag colors. Okay, so I just had a yard of fabric. I had started, and it's like got 42 squares of prints, different prints on it. And I had started cutting them out, and now I'm going to finish that if I can, because I have a special project in the works. I have a special project. I have an order. And I'm doing a collaboration, and that's to be announced at a later time. But yeah, let me pick up where I left off. I don't want to protect the fabric. Did I bring my shades? I don't think I brought my sunshades out the house. Let's see, I might need to turn this way. Does it help? I don't know if that helps. Let me see. Kind of does, but I'll be out here as long as I can bear the sun. If it gets too bad, then I'll just pack it up and go inside. But yeah, try to remember to make content for the channel. Sometimes I make content, like I record, and then I'm not sure if it's good enough to share or it'll need some editing. This week, guys, I made my first video that had a little music element. I did some short videos. And even though I uploaded them as shorts, somehow they landed as videos. They're only 22 seconds. And I selected upload as a short, but they appear under videos. And I'm not happy about that because well, with these rotary cutters, guys, remember to always lock them when they're not in use. Lock them, put the rubber guard around the blade because the blade is very sharp. I had the blade, the lock on, so I wasn't doing any cutting right now. So I gotta go back over this strip. But yeah, guys, if you are watching this and you have a channel and you know what I'm talking about, why would tell me why would my short video that I selected to be a short, why would it show up under the regular video lineup? And as a regular video, once it plays for 22 seconds, then it stops. And you know, shorts, the platform would like people, your viewers, to play your short multiple times. And that's why I was careful choosing the music to go with it, setting it up to be very inviting. But yeah, both times I tried uploading, it ended up not as a short. I don't understand. But yeah, that's that. Fill me in if you know. So I'm measuring. I have a cutting mat on top of a table, and I have my fabric. It's a collection from a friend, and I don't know, I think I'm not supposed to announce it just yet, so I'll wait until I've confirmed, and I'll be happy to share. I'm looking forward to it, and it's exciting. I'm happy to be doing a collaboration with someone that I respect greatly and who has been an encouragement to me and has supported my work over on, especially on Instagram, past few years, and vice versa. I'll be making something special with this fabric, and it's a request for my shop is called Grace Light Studio. My business is called Grace Light Studio. It's based in the state of Maryland, US. And you can visit online, gracelightstudio.com. As we get closer to fall, before the holiday season, I'll do a shop update, and you'll probably hear me talk about it more. And as I add items to the shop, I'll share them. And if you're interested, especially like if you're well, if you're not in the U.S., you can sign up to the mailing list and just get newsletters from me. And if you are in the U.S., you can sign up on my website, gracelightstudio.com, and get on the mailing list and get newsletters or mini blogs where I can send previews of what's coming to my shop and just some positive messages. If you are familiar, like if you're watching this, you're probably familiar with my YouTube channel. But if you don't know my Instagram channel, that's where I started social media. Well, started on Facebook, but as far as my creative business and creative activities and photographs, a lot of that is on Instagram at Xine_by_Grace, XINE_by_Grace, one word, by grace, by the grace of God. So you'll see some of my products there. And my motto and purpose is to express hope and encouragement through words, art, and scenery, and to affirm the good in life. And there's a motto or a quote that I picked up many years ago, over 10 years ago, and it stuck with me the first time I read it. And I read it in a Mennonite publication. I don't know if it was called Threads or Common Purpose, but it said, "My task as I actively listen is to affirm and redeem, not to judge and condemn." And that resonates with me, because I think everyone has redemptive qualities, and I think that our Maker, God, wants us to be reconciled one with another and ultimately with Him. He wants us to be unified in love and in Christ for His glory. He made us, and that's what the Word of God calls us to do. And so, yeah, I want to affirm the good in life. I want to express good cheer. I want to love my neighbor as myself. And I believe that our neighbor, or my neighbor, when we read that parable about the Good Samaritan, the Jewish priest and the Samaritan man, and then the third person who was assaulted by robbers and left for dead. We know that the Samaritan helped the Jewish person who was assaulted and left for dead. And the word says which one that day was the Jew, or which one acted according to God's will that day. And it was the Samaritan. As we're called to love our neighbors as ourselves, and the word says, or expresses, our neighbor is anyone we cross paths with in our day-to-day life. So let's not turn a blind eye to one another. There's different ways we're called to serve, and probably God will speak to our hearts in different ways and let us know. Yeah, but I think my purpose is to encourage, and has been for a long time, from the sidelines, quietly, and especially individually, because I'm not good with crowds, but person to person and quietly, I can relate more easily. It comes naturally. I just cut those squares. Do I have any more? I have more to do. So let me pick up the second set. I'm glad to make some progress. It was like every time I had put it in mind to ramp up with my channel and with my business, then my day job also gets exponentially more demanding. So between home life and work and the rest that we require as people and humans, it's a balancing act. It's hard to juggle sometimes. Gotta hold this cutting mat, this ruler, firmly. Uh-oh. Let me wipe off my face. My glasses are getting slippery. Gotta dab my face so that my glasses can stay on. I hope they will. I don't necessarily need them now, but because I'm not reading. And guys, I hope that those of you who work with fabric more frequently will forgive me if I'm being painstakingly slow. But I want to be accurate, and I had been working with my yarn more so than fabric recently, so I'm just getting back to this, getting back in the saddle. Well, I'm not a horse rider. I've never been in a saddle. Getting back into the swing of things. And I don't do large-scale sewing. I've been sewing like small items. And some of you know, I do hand-stitched, cotton-printed stuffed hearts full of love and good cheer. Yes. They're so cute. I'll have to show them again. This process is satisfying. Once you get set up and get going, I'm really enjoying this. I like these hands-on handcraft projects. Crochet, stitching, collage, painting. Yeah. I don't know if I left anything out. I tried embroidery and applique before, and that's fun. But I remember, like, you need really good light and vision, unless you're doing embroidery on like large scale, like with felt. But on the things that I was doing were smaller stitches, very detailed. I was following patterns from the wonderful Jenny at Jenny of Elephants. You can find her, just look up ELEFANTZ. It sounds like elephants, but it's ELEFANTZ. And her blog and channel is not about elephants at all, as it might sound, but she said that name came to her from the Lord. That's what she said, and so she named her channel that, or her business that. And yeah, Jenny in Australia, and she's a daughter of God. She's a Christian woman, and she shares from that perspective a lot from her faith, but her content is a lot of family content, and her stitchery patterns, many of which are free. She does recipes and just really encouraging words to, I think, to women. As a seasoned woman, and she's a mother and a wife and a homemaker now, and a granny. I guess you would say I would say a grandmother. She refers to her own grandmother who raised her as Nana. And she has some stitcheries dedicated to her Nana who raised her. But yeah, if you don't know, there is a wealth of content over on Jenny's blog. And she's done her content in different ways over the years that I've known of her. She used to have a Facebook private group called, I think it was called Gentle Domesticity. And several of us women from different places around the world got to know one another and had fellowship. It was really nice. You know, but as seasons come and go, sometimes we have to close some doors and have different ways of operating. But yeah, Jenny is still out there sharing and being generous with her talents. The more I do this, I think the faster I'll get. But then, this is not like a regular task. I don't know. It might prepare me for when I want to do my next mini quilt. Because I'll have to cut some squares and strips for that. So, the one thing I didn't get comfortable with, I started to, was using the sewing machine and threading it and changing the needle. It's like you really have to be repetitive with some things for them to become second nature. And I admire people who are able to do the quilts and sewing. Do you guys know Betty's Corner? Betty's Corner channel? I think that's Betty, who is a seamstress in the Caribbean. Betty, I think, maybe in Jamaica. 2 sons. I hope that's on the right channel. Because sometimes Betty shares from her church, and then other times I think she shares from her workstation. But yeah, if you don't know her, go and check for yourself. I like her live streams, and I like her scenery too. The beautiful sunrises over the mountains in the Caribbean. I think it's the Caribbean Sea. So guys, how many more squares? I have 3, 6, 9, 12. I have 12 squares. And this task is almost done. Yay! And what time is it? I can't see what time it is right now, but I think it's just about noon. I got an early start today. I was up and out before 7 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. And it was not for church. It was to go to try to do like a sunrise, catch the sunrise, and which I did, but it wasn't a time for vlogging, I found, which is okay. So I caught the sunrise by myself, and then I came back and read from the book of John, which I was talking about that on my live stream just before this. And I encourage everyone to go back to the Gospel of John, periodically. I just love it. And even from the time I was a small girl and first read it, it really spoke to me. I like chapter 1, and I like John's writings in general, because they're always talking about love. But the Gospel of John chapter 1 really talks about who Jesus is. And just read chapter 1. And not only chapter 1, but that specifically today was on my heart, and I just wanted to share it. Moving right along with this print. One thing about quilting fabrics, they have this thing called, or this concept called low volume and high volume prints, and the star print. Like if there's a collection, there's one piece that's like really the star of the show. Is that what the word is? And then there's some that would have small printed I don't know what you call them, where the motifs are small and there'd be many of them on a small on the area, and then others are larger and more spaced out. There may be some complementary solid colors, so you can mix and match. Like if you're quilting. And if you guys are into quilting or sewing, tell me what you know or what comes to mind on this topic. I'm interested in doing a small like quilt block. It's a square quilt block, because I would use it for a hot pad or a tea time mat. I have a friend from the art community called Tori from the Quilt Patch. She has a book out, and it's called Workshops Unleashed. Workshops Unleashed. If you do a search for that and maybe look up Tori or the Quilt Patch, you may find it and read about that and show her some love. If you can find her YouTube channel, show her some love. And if you are into quilting, sewing, or a creative person and you want to plan some workshops, consider her book. I think it's out for pre-order right now. I had a chance to be an early reader of the book. It was good. And she knows what she's talking about. She has experience in teaching and being a quilter. We met through the Craft Industry Alliance. We were in a small group early this year focusing on product development, our own individual product development. There was like 6 of us in the group. Very inspiring to connect with other people who are have similar interests. And even though everyone's projects and focus were different and maybe different parts of our journey, like some people are more experienced, it's still beneficial to interact and hear things from different perspectives, get input, and just the energy of it. It really is inspiring. So if you are a creative person and looking for like I don't know if you would call it a professional organization or just an organization for creative businesses, whether you're planning to start one or if you're new to yours or further along, look at Craft Industry Alliance. It's led by Abby Glassenberg in the US, and she used to have a channel. I cut all the fabric, guys. All the 42 squares from the yard are all cut and stacked up. But yeah, Abby Glassenberg is doing a fabulous job running Craft Industry Alliance. And it offers a lot, and it has different rates, and to make it affordable. And if you're not a member, you can still go to the site and look up the podcasts, and maybe there may be a blog as well that you can read for free. But it has a lot to offer. It has classes, mastermind groups, monthly roundtables. It has niche groups that